Hi, I'm James Schillinglaw, and here I am aboard Silver Dawn. And this is the inaugural voyage, the christening voyage for Silver Dawn, and it is the third in the Muse class of ships from Silver Sea Cruises. I'm here with, as you've seen before, Roberto Martinoli, who is the President and CEO of Silver Sea, and Barbara Muckerman, who is the Chief Commercial Officer. And we're going to talk to them about this brand new ship and what's going on with Silver Sea today. And you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been amazing. This is my first time on a Muse class ship, believe it or not. I don't know how I've avoided it, but my partner Alan Fine, as you've been nice enough to host him before, and he's gotten all the benefits here. You know, in fact, he was just with you on Silver Origin, which is your Galapagos ship. Let's start from the top. Roberto, let's talk about Silver Dawn. What is different about this ship compared to its two other predecessors in the Muse class?
Sure. Well, the Dawn is obviously the evolution of what we did before on the Muse and the Moon. And we also have something to do with the Spirit, because when the Spirit was stretched, it was just after we built the Muse. And the Spirit is a very similar ship, you know, I would call it the same class, especially now that it has been stretched. You know, of course, you learn, by putting it in place, and when we did the Muse, we had to do some tweaks to the dining rooms, which we further implemented on the Spirit when she was stretched. It was the Moon, and there is a further implementation here. So you will notice when you go from the Muse to the Moon to the Dawn that the dining experience is a little bit changed in terms of distribution of seatings. I would say that the biggest change was that we moved La Dame, which is our French signature restaurant, from down on deck 4. We moved it up. And we swapped the position with the Art Cafe. The Art Cafe went on the other side. We moved into a different location, the cigar room. So we did all of those changes. So I would say that the most significant change that we have on the Dawn, in respect to the Moon, is that she has got a completely new spa, with a completely new spa concept.
You introduced it on the previous ship, but this has now been from the beginning. We're going to talk to Barbara about that concept too. But so those are the big things. Now, Barbara, let's talk about that dining. You introduced your S.A.L.T dining concept, and first of all, remind us what that is.
Thank you, James. Sea and Land Taste is actually the most culinary immersive program at sea at the moment. It is more than just a dining concept. It is actually an ecosystem. Mm-hmm. So you have S.A.L.T Kitchen, which is a restaurant that every day will change the menu, and the menu will be the menu of the port. Mm-hmm. So last night we were in Lisbon, we had sardines, because sardines are a specialty of the area. Then we have S.A.L.T Lab, which is a test kitchen where you're really going to have fun with the ingredients. Again, yesterday's lecture was in cod we trust, which I understand was
in cod we trust. That's a cute name. I'll tell you. I should have had the cod, right?
Yeah. Yes. Today's tapas. And then you have the S.A.L.T bar, which is offering liqueurs and cocktails again of the area. If you add to this short excursion and also the talks in the theater, you will be able to use food as the lens to understand the culture of the destination that you're traveling in.
Now, have you made any updates to the S.A.L.T concept for this ship at all?
Well, this is when now things are starting to be tough, because the first season was in Greece. It was very, very easy in a certain sense for us to learn and make our muscles on S.A.L.T in having just one region. Mm-hmm. Now we have two ships. We have Silver Moon and Silver Dawn with S.A.L.T, and now this ship is going to start roaming freely in the Mediterranean, which means that
a lot of different countries, a lot of different dining.
Countries, right? Exactly. But so far it's going great.
Yeah, what are you going to do when you get to Monte Carlo?
Well, Monaco is actually very interesting.
There's it is, and you guys know it well, of course. But this is now. Let's talk about the fleet today, Roberto. How many total ships do you have, and what's coming now? And also tell me the distribution, because you have expedition ships and you have ocean-going traditional luxury ships, right?
Yes. Well, at the moment we have, with the addition of the Dawn, we have 10 ships that are operational. I would say, they can operate. We are not all of them are operational yet, but most of them are. We have 7 now operating out of 10, and 3 more will come very soon. So by the summer, the whole fleet will be in operation. So the distribution is that as far as expedition, we have cloud and wind. Wind was just converted in Poland this last winter. She went through the ice class upgrade, and we also did the complete refurbishment of the entire ship. So she's just now about to go to the Arctic and then Northwest Passage to complete the season, and then going down to Antarctica for the next season. So we have those 2 ships.
I saw one down in Antarctica at a distance. It was very nice.
Yeah. So you saw the Cloud there. Yeah. So then we have the Cloud and the Explorer in Antarctica, and next year we have Cloud, Wind, and Explorer. So the Explorer is the other expedition vessel that is on her way now to go to Australia to do the Kimberley season. So she's crossing the Indian Ocean. And we have, of course, the Galapagos, which we just christened.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Like, it's a dedicated ship just for Galapagos, and my partner Alan Fine was on it.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we really loved it. We had a great christening function in the Galapagos, which was very emotional. Was great. Was really good.
I hear you did it by Zodiac, right?
Yes, we did it on Zodiacs. Yeah, it's very cool. I'll show you you saw
I have the video because we actually did the video. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you is, have you ever really thought to really doing a dedicated Arctic or Antarctic expedition ship as opposed to converting what you have? I mean, a new one that would be really focused on expedition cruising in those Arctic areas and Antarctic.
Yes, we are working on it, and unfortunately we were interrupted on this project by the pandemic because we were
pandemic. Isn't that so yesterday?
So we lost a couple of years only for that, but we are very well prepared because we had already done quite a bit of homework. So stay tuned because there will certainly some news will come out on this subject.
Barbara, in addition to S.A.L.T, you introduced a new, you're talking immersion in culinary and immersion in lifestyle, but you introduced a new immersion in wellness and spa, which is called Octium, right? And did I butcher that? Was I right?
That was a perfect pronunciation.
At first I've been calling it Otium or Odium, but it's Octium, right?
Octium is the Latin pronunciation. So the TI is a Z, so Octium is the right Latin pronunciation because it's a Latin word, as Barbara will explain.
Yeah, and indeed it's kind of a Roman concept originally. I kind of had this weird view of Roman spas and orgies, but let's not go there. But it sounds like an amazing concept. I'm going to get a chance to see it a little later. But tell us what Octium is, please.
Well, Octium is the contrary of negotium, literally, which is negotium means work, Octium means doing nothing. So with Silversea, we decided to refine the art of doing nothing. We looked at the other wellness and fitness programs around the world, and we realized that deprivation, suffering, sweating was absolutely nowhere in our brand. And so we decided to sort of break the glass between the food and beverage experience of the ship and break it into the spa and fitness. So after a massage, you can have a hot chocolate or a cold chocolate. While doing your nails, which you do every day, of course.
I do it every day, but you do, right?
You can have a glass of champagne. And this is really bringing to a complete different level the spa and wellness experience. On top of this, we also decided to relook at the suite experience. So Octium has a new balcony experience. If you are in the cruising in cold water, you just call the butler. He will arrive with a cashmere blanket and a hot drink, for example.
I got to remember that because I think I got a butler, so I got to go get my cashmere blanket.
Yeah. Go and test it out. He also will draw a bath. We have a complete new sleeping experience, which I can assure you is amazing. I mean, I'm sure, didn't you sleep well last night?
I did. The bed is amazing. I will got to tell you, that is totally, and is that new or this is something you have on your previous?
It's a further implementation of what we did before. So we wanted, to maximize the sleeping experience. We are building a house in southern France, and all the bedding will be exactly the same.
So can we buy this bedding anytime soon?
You can go to the supplier. Yes, we can share with you who's doing it, and I'm buying it from a supplier. Of course, you can.
Yeah, my buddy Peter Greenberg might be buying your bed soon. We'll see what happens. He has a tendency to buy hotel beds, so maybe this might be his first cruise bed.
Right. I mean, we'll ask him later if he wants.
He's on board. Now Octium right now is now, this is fully developed for this ship. You had it in Moon. but now this is really from the get-go. You had this concept here, right?
Yes, actually, this is the first ship where it's fully implemented, and we're working on a plan to retro-implement it on the rest of the fleet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to look forward to it. I'm actually going to see a little bit today. You got me covered today. I got to do the S.A.L.T and the Octium. I'm going to be, it's spa and wellness
You're
and
going
food.
to be pampered to the end.
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it. Let's stick with you, Barbara, in terms of the other dining concepts on board, and you can add, Roberto. What are some of the other restaurants that the guests have access to?
Well, Silver Dawn has 298 suites. And with this number of suites, you get 8 restaurants. One is Salt Kitchen. Then, of course, you have Atlantide, which is international fare, including our 24-hour free caviar, which honestly is a treat. La Dame, as Roberto was talking, our signature French, which is now on deck 8 in a beautiful location overlooking the sea. Silver Note, for the people who maybe want to have the old tradition of the supper club with live entertainment. It is a lovely venue, and I would say one of the hidden gems. And then, of course, if you just want to have a fantastic Italian pizza, there is the pizzeria, the pool grill, as well as Hot Rocks, in which you can actually cook your own meal on hot volcanic stone.
That sounds amazing.
And La Terrazza, the Italian restaurant, and I have to say, being Italian, I can say that the pasta dishes at La Terrazza are absolutely spectacular, besides anything else, and also the veal Milanese. So those are, it's a great, number of different choices that you have.
And what about the pizza?
The pizza is great, and we were when we were inaugurating the Muse, and we were in Italy, around Italy, so we had a lot of Italian people on board, and many of Manfredi's friends are Neapolitan ship owners, and they're big about pizza. They were all there having pizza. I have all the picture. I'll show it to you.
Well, I'm a bit of a pizza connoisseur because I haven't had the pizza on board, so I'm going to have to test it because we'll go together. Because I have one favorite I'll tell you about, not now, but you could surpass that. Well, let's see what happens. But I do know a lot of ships, a lot of lines say they have the best pizza. It's not true. So let's make sure that yours is true. That would be
our pizzaiolo, as we say in Italian. The guy who makes pizza here is from Naples. So
we should be good to go here. I think we're like this. Now let's talk a little bit. We talked about the dining. What about the other public areas, Roberto? In terms of the lounges, we've talked maybe the bars. We're in the Panorama Lounge here, and you have not just a Panorama Lounge. You have an observation lounge. So you got a lot of things going on here.
Yes, I think that what is great about the Dawn and where we have implemented all of a little more small changes. As an example, here in that corner there, we had a staircase going down, which we have eliminated to make more space and a bigger dance floor. Because this is the venue where there is dancing, after dinner. And so one of the many things, so also the outside decks are really beautiful here, and they are very, very, very popular. So you have it at this level. You can go outside, you see, the great space that you have with canopies, heaters. It's a little bit cold now here. It's, spring, so, it can be...
Goes back and forth in New York, too, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can be outside day and night, in a very comfortable area, overlooking the sceneries around yourself. And the same applies also to, deck number 8, which is down below here, where we have... the Art Cafe on one side and the La Dame on the other side, with the same type of arrangement that goes outside. And then you go down to deck 7 is La Terrazza, and then you go down to deck 6 and you have like the spa with the gymnasium and exercise room in the very after part, with all of these very large open deck areas that are incredibly popular, and which we have extended a little bit compared to the previous ships and improved. As I said, the spa is a completely new layout, a new concept, to make sure that Octium would work perfectly well here. And with that, we have then the theater is the same as on the other ship, has always been extremely well, received and very popular, working very well. The other thing where there are changes compared to the previous ships is the Dolce Vita, the public venue on deck 5, where you have like the concierge desk and the tour desk on the other side. And that room at the beginning, I mean, we were not very successful in designing it, so we went back and we rethought.
Now you've perfected it.
We have perfected it. We have a big bar in the middle. It works really well. It's we did the party last night. I mean, the welcome reception last night, and as you see, I mean, it works very well. So I mean, of course the pool also we made some improvement. We changed layout of the pool bar and the pool grill. They have been slightly changed. We've been increasing the shadowed area by the pool, because people more and more now they want to stay away from the sun, or to have the option to stay away from the sun. We also changed, there is a jacuzzi on deck 10 after, and we also improved that area by adding some more lounges and outdoor furniture to make it more appealing, because it was a little bit away from the traffic and not many people were going there. And observation is the same, beautiful all the way forward in a very, with a great view and a great venue where you can also have, there is a nice library inserted in there, and also there is like tables for card room. The connoisseur room, yes, absolutely.
That's the cigar room?
Great venue. We added.
You go there all the time.
You know what? It's something that also non-smoker go there, because there is an outside area which is very cool. Okay. We have also a fireplace there. I mean, there are. It's a beautiful area which is outside, right here on the starboard side, forward of the panorama on deck 9. Yeah. So and all those venues are. Have been a little bit perfected here and there with, small to medium-sized changes, and they are all doing very, very well.
Excellent. Now, Bart, we talked about the rooms and the bedding. Any changes in the suites here? And I know you have butler service. It's amazing. I often don't know what to do with my butler, but he picked up my laundry today, so I know that was good. And he also, and normally he'd be like making restaurant reservations, but I got Brad Ball here, who's helping me doing that, who's the communications for you. Now, anything changes on the rooms?
Well, you should also try the shoe shining. Actually, that's a great service of
I don't have any shoes that shine anymore. These are leather.
He will do any time.
Do it anyway.
So another change in the suite actually is part of the Octium package. We have designed a new comfort food menu. So imagine that for one night you just want to chill in your room. You can order truffle popcorns if you're watching a movie, or for example, a foie gras burger. So there's also a lot of new treats for the suite.
Oh, that's great. And you mentioned movies. I love watching movies on cruise ships, and I think you even do movies in theater now. Last night I missed it, but it really is for me. It dates from years ago when I first went on cruise ships, and I always watched movies as a kid. But that's great. The suite is amazing, as you said. The bed is just out of this world. I think I got to get one too, because if I'm not going to let Peter have it, I'll buy it. Now, let's talk a little bit about the future, because this is the last of the Muse class, if you will. You perfected this class, and you got something coming up next year. And we talked about this in a previous interview when we were at International Luxury Travel Market. But you got Silver Nova coming, and tell us a little bit about that again.
Yeah, so Silver Nova will come next year. It's going to be starting in Southampton in July, and she's being built in Germany at Meyerwerft, and this is it's a very interesting project. We are very excited about it. It's a complete new design concept. Is a huge investment in sustainability, something really unheard of. So it's a big step forward, because it will be not only the design is going to be different. I mean, here as an example, those ships were all built the traditional way, which was with all the public spaces after and all the cabin forward. The Nova, I mean, we decided to go for public spaces distributed, on different decks, separated from cabins. So you will have both public spaces and cabin, both forward and after, depending on which deck you are on. Is going to be with huge amounts of glass on the side. So wherever you are on the ship, you will have a great view of the outside, which means that also the way the structure has been designed is different, because normally you have the stiffeners that keep the ship together on the outer side of the ship. In this case, there will be more inside to allow to have great glass
access to the sea and access to all the beautiful. That's amazing.
And in addition to that, we also went for an asymmetrical design. So I am an engineer, so engineers want to see things all the same, port side and starboard side. So
is that true?
Architects, and actually another naval architect marine engineer like me, Harry Kulovara, who's a great.
Now you're working with him in Royal Caribbean.
So
Yeah,
we speak.
probably throwing back ideas back and forth,
Yes,
right?
of course we do. But I must admit that on that side he is really an incredible, mind, and so we went through this idea of the asymmetrical design, and this is implemented on Nova. So as an example, so the swimming pool is not like with two walls on either side, but is a horseshoe design. So on one side is completely open to the sea, to the sky, to the water, and everything on the other side is not. So, and staircases are we have two main staircases, one on either side with a big glass wall. So when you are in an elevator, you will be looking outside. I mean, so open decks are going to be amazing. So it's a very, very interesting and incredible step forward for us. So.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to seeing it next year. And if you tell me you got a lazy river ride, I'm going to start to worry about it a little bit. Now you will have the same concepts of Octium and S.A.L.T on that ship as well, right?
Well, yes, but there are some surprises there. Both of the areas are larger and evolved.
Right. And I was going to ask you, you've in the last year alone, you've introduced these two revolutionary concepts for culinary and for wellness and everything else. Anything else coming up?
Well, I think we're going to work on perfecting these concepts for now.
Okay, absolutely. Well, I think this ship proves that. And I guess I want to ask you, Roberto, how should our travel advisors out there be selling this ship? And I'll ask you the same question if you want to add to it. What should they highlight to their clients?
Well, I think that we said it all. I mean, first of all, I think that those are ships that are this ship, particularly in this moment, represents the way that we want to give guests memorable experiences. Is very much centered into making sure that in great creature comfort you're going to be exploring the world and you're going to be understanding the culture of destination that you visit. These two additions to our product have been instrumental to make sure that this is brought to the next level. And I have to say, I mean, myself also, when we were in Greece last year, I mean, and we went out with this S.A.L.T concept coming back from a big hiatus of a long time, it was extremely interesting to be helped in experiences the local culture, and the food is one of the biggest representation of the local culture. And I have to say to the travel advisors that we have been having an incredible success. People love it. People are going back. I mean, I started buying Greek wine. That was not my favorite wine, so we have in our wine cellar some Greek wines. We are going back to do some recipes that we would never have done before. So today, and Barbara will explain it better than me for sure. I mean, this is what people are looking for, and I think that we have been very successful in implementing this type of memorable experience, immersing people more into the destination, which is what people are looking for.
Just the wines. Oh. And in fact, we're in Portugal now, and there's some very good Portuguese ones too.
Yes, of course.
Now, Barbara, anything to add in terms of how you think travel advisors should be selling this sort of state-of-the-art Silver Sea ship?
Well, thank you, James. I think our travel advisor partners should sell Silver Sea with confidence. Our net promoter scores, which are the ratings that the passengers leave, are through the roof. Thanks to our destination reach, you have a Silver Sea ship everywhere in the world. 72% of the planet is covered by water. So you have customers out there that are ready for a Silver Sea cruise.
Absolutely. Now, anything else? So we go out to 100,000 travel advisors right now. Anything else you'd like to tell them about this ship or about Silver Sea going forward?
Well, we have 7 ships in the water, 3 more to come very soon, and we are very grateful for the support that travel advisors have been giving us. We've been doing our best to sustain trade, and of course everybody knows about the great initiative that it took. So we need you. We want you to work with us, and we want to continue this very successful, going back into service, which is very promising. We have some issues here and there in the world, unfortunately, things we cannot control, but I think that we have a much brighter future in front of us.
Absolutely. Barbara, anything else to add to that?
I just need to thank our travel advisor partners. The channel has never been this strong, and we really need your help.
Well, Roberto, Barbara, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Thank you for inviting me. This is my first Muse class ship, believe it or not, because my partner Alan Fine gets to go on all the ships. So
That's why. He wants to be there all the time.
he wants to be there all the time. He was with you on Silver Origin. He was with you in Greece last year, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture? But no, Alan's great, and Alan, right? It's great, right? He's going to be editing this too. But thank you again. This is an amazing ship. I'm going to take the next 4 days to really get to know it better, and also experience Octium, okay, and obviously S.A.L.T, which I had not done before. Again, thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you very much.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.